The sun had just begun to climb above the red earth when the dust on the horizon thickened into the shape of two figures, one tall and limping, the other small and stubbornly pulling her hand. The girl's braids were coming loose, and her mother's dress, once white, clung in brown folds. Behind them, a horse trailed, ribs showing, reins dragging like a forgotten prayer. The ranch gate rose ahead, weathered wood, iron hinges, the mark of a man who built things that didn't break. Alejandro stood beside it, hat low over eyes the color of burnt copper. The clang of the chain echoed like a question as the child stepped forward. "If I sweep your cabin, would you let Mama sleep there, sir? She's too weak to walk another mile." He didn't answer. The wind did, whispering through the grass. Then the woman's knees gave out, and she crumpled softly. Alejandro's boots shifted on the dirt. He'd seen hunger before, but something in the girl's gaze, steady despite the shaking, cut through his silence. He called toward the corral. "Bring water." His voice was rough, as if unused to mercy. The girl helped her mother drink. A drop spilled and darkened the dust before vanishing. "Thank you," the woman whispered, more breath than sound. The girl smiled. "See, Mama? The nice man heard us." Alejandro flinched. He hadn't decided he was kind. He'd only decided not to be cruel. "Bring them in," he muttered, almost to himself. Inside, the air was cool and dim. He pointed to the cot. "She can rest there. You wash your hands in the basin." The girl obeyed. "I'm Anne," she said brightly. "Mama says we should always tell our names to good people." He busied himself with the shutter. "You can stay till sundown," he said. Angelica, though he didn't yet know her name, opened her eyes. "We won't trouble you longer than needed." Her voice was soft, the sound of someone used to apology. He stepped outside, trying to think of fences and horses, but his mind circled back to the woman's trembling hands and the girl's hopeful voice. By noon, he heard the broom through the doorway and swept fiercely, dust swirling like gold mist. Angelica, still weak, sat sewing by the hearth. The cabin, long silent, felt alive again. "You don't owe me chores," he said. "She promised," Angelica replied. "And she keeps her word." Her quiet dignity disarmed him. As he drank his coffee, the girl hummed a tune that filled the small room like sunlight. Angelica's eyes followed her daughter. Love and fear mingled there. Fear that kindness would cost them more than cruelty ever had. "Where you from?" he asked. "East," she said. "Far enough that no one remembers our faces." That was answer enough. The West had room for secrets. And finished sweeping. "It's clean now, sir. You can eat without sneezing." He nearly smiled. "That's so." She nodded. "Mama can cook too, if you've got flour. She says bread keeps sadness away." He pointed to the sack. "Half left from last week." Angelica rose and kneaded dough with steady hands. The scent of bread filled the cabin, warm and familiar. They ate together as dusk came. "Thank you, Mr. Alejandro." She repeated it gently. "Thank you, Alejandro." The name sounded like mercy. When darkness settled, he said, "You can stay till morning. The mare needs rest." She nodded, understanding the lie of kindness. "We're grateful." That night, he dreamed of his mother sweeping their porch, saying, "There's no shame in helping the lost, son. Someday you'll be the one asking." He woke before dawn, her voice tangled in the wind. By sunrise, Angelica was outside hanging linens, and chased a chicken, laughing like bells. Alejandro paused. The sound was absurd and holy. His ranch hadn't known laughter in years. "You'll scare her off," he said, and frowned. "She likes it, sir. Look, she's smiling." Over breakfast, Angelica tried to offer a silver brooch in payment. He pushed it back. "Keep it. I've no use for trinkets." "Then let me work for our stay." "You already are," he said, glancing at, and that one's earning her keep just fine. Angelica smiled softly. "She believes every good thing must be earned. Maybe I taught her that too well." "Better than teaching her to expect pity," he replied. Their eyes met, and for a heartbeat, the air changed. By midday, Buck from town rode up. "Alejandro, folks are talking. Say you took an estray, and her young un. Let them talk. They'll have you married by Sunday," Buck teased. Alejandro's jaw tightened. They've married me off before. Didn't last. Buck's smile faded. You sure you're ready to care again? Alejandro turned away. I'm just letting a tired woman rest. But he knew that wasn't true. That evening, Angelica hummed while mending a torn sleeve. He listened from a porch. When she caught his gaze, she said softly, Your friend seemed worried. He worries about things that don't matter. Maybe he sees what you can't. What's that? That you're kinder than you think. He looked away, unsettled. Her voice lingered after she fell silent. Days passed in gentle rhythm. Angelica cooked and helped with chores, and Alejandro found himself whistling again. Yet each sunrise reminded him their leaving was near. Then one afternoon, the smell of smoke split the calm. Fire, he shouted, running to the barn. Flames climbed fast. Angelica grabbed a bucket before he could stop her. Together they fought the blaze, coughing, blinded by heat. A beam cracked and fell. She shoved him aside just in time. He caught her as she stumbled, her sleeve ablaze. He tore it free, pressing her arm into the dirt. They saved the animals, but the barn was half gone. She collapsed beside him, breath shaking. You could have died, he rasped. So could you, she said. Maybe we both needed to live instead. He looked at her, at the courage shining through exhaustion, and something inside him broke open. Back inside, and clung to her mother, sobbing. I thought the fire would take you. Angelica kissed her hair. No, darling. The world tried, but we're still here. Alejandro turned away, eyes burning. When the child slept, they sat by the hearth in silence. Firelight flickered between them. You risked everything for this place, he said. For the people in it, she answered. He swallowed hard. I thought love was a weakness men couldn't afford. And now I think it's the only thing worth the cost. He reached into his pocket and placed a small silver band on the table. It was my mother's. I kept it because I didn't know what else to do with hope. If you'll stay, Angelica, if you'll let this place be yours, her eyes shimmered. Alejandro, he raised a hand gently. And she's already swept her way into my heart. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Yes, she whispered. Outside, wind carried the scent of rain not yet fallen. He opened the door. The sunset flamed across the hills, orange and gold. She stood beside him. It's beautiful, she said. He nodded. It is, when you've got someone to share it with. Anne's small voice came from behind them. Mama, does this mean we can stay forever? Angelica looked at him, uncertain. He smiled, the kind of smile that felt like forgiveness. Yes, little one. Forever sounds just right. The three of them watched the sun sink behind the hills. The ranch, once silent, breathed again. And somewhere in that fading light, Alejandro thought of a child's first words. If I sweep your cabin, and realized she hadn't just swept his floor. She'd swept the dust from his soul. When night came, he whispered into the quiet, not for her to hear, but for himself. Mercy isn't weakness. It's where love begins. The wind answered softly through the grass, as if the land itself approved. And the world, at last, felt whole again. Before you ride off, tell me where in the wide world you're watching from.